Good afternoon. We're joined by members of the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, and Vancouver Canucks. Speaking for the Canucks, Captain Bo Horvat. For the Stars, Jason Dickinson. For the Knights, Ryan Reeves. And from the Avalanche, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and Nazem Kadri. We'll now take questions. Brendan Batchelor, Sportsnet, go ahead.
First of all, this question's for Bo. Just your thoughts on the decision that the players have made today as a group, and just sort of take us inside the conversations you guys have had that have led to this point.
Yeah, I think it was a really important decision, and I think it was the right decision to make. We needed to do something and make a stand, and I think this is the appropriate form of action that we're doing right now. And I couldn't be prouder of our group of guys to come up with this solution. And regarding thoughts and the stuff that we went over this morning, we met as a group and went over to Vegas, and we met as as a group there, and thought this was going to be the best form of action to take. And I'm really proud of what we come up with, and we definitely think this is the best thing to do.
Go to Ryan Clark, The Athletic.
This question is for Nazem, Pierre-Edouard, and Ryan. What does this day mean to the three of you? What does this moment mean to the three of you to know that the league is doing something and standing behind you are your peers in a united front?
I think if you look around this room, there's a lot of white athletes in here, and I think that's the statement that's being made right now. It's great that the NBA did this and the MLB and the WNBA. They have a lot of black players in those leagues, but for all these athletes in here to take a stand and say, you know what, we see the problem too, and we stand behind you. I go to war with these guys, and I hate their guts on the ice, but I couldn't be more proud of these guys. It's the statement that they've made today is something that's going to last. These 2 days isn't gonna fix anything, but the conversation and the statement that's been made is very powerful, especially coming from this league.
I agree. Just to reiterate, I think this is a big enough statement. Just all these guys sticking together. I've never, I got so much more respect for every single player in this league by doing something like this. And obviously systemic racism, we can use these next couple of days to further educate ourselves and try to, for the betterment of society. So, it's something that needed to be done. And, I think hockey's a team sport, a team game, and every single one of these guys are on the same page and stand with each other.
Same here. It's not an easy subject. It's an awkward subject for a lot of people. And the fact that we're all here together right now, it's going to bring a lot of awareness, and going to be a lot of questions asked, and it's going to be able to help everybody educate themselves, educate the people to ask the question. And the fact that everybody is right here with us, standing up together, it's huge. It's a great unity.
Take the next one, Josh Clipperton, Canadian Press.
Hey guys, for Naz, Pierre-Edouard, and Jason, just with the benefit of hindsight, did it feel right to play last night? Like, were you reservations when you were on the ice playing that game?
Yeah, it did, but in the same time, it happened really fast. I don't want to, give the blame to anybody, but by the time we got to the rink, games were on, and the news came up that the NBA postponed, so it didn't feel right. But I feel that after reflecting on it and us being here together, it's the best response we could have.
Greg Wyshynski, ESPN.
Thanks a lot. Hey, Ryan, Kevin Shattenkirk over on the Eastern side was talking about the influence that you had for a lot of these guys. What was your message about why it was important not to play?
I think it was just what I said. I think the message coming from a predominantly white league has a lot bigger impact. Not bigger impact, but it has a very strong impact when it's coming from players like this. Most of these guys have never lived through some of the stuff that black athletes have. They don't go through those day-to-day things that they feel that racism, or they've seen the racism, or their family's gone through it. But for them to say, look, we see what's going on in society, and we disagree with it, and something has to change right now. That was my message. And I think I said that standing together here it's more powerful than anything you can do. We're in a bubble. There's nothing you can do outside the bubble right now. And we can't change anything because we're stuck in here, but together in here right now, that's what we can do.
Patrick Johnston, Post Media.
Bo, can you maybe just walk us through the thinking this morning? You know, what were you guys thinking about? Why today? Why not yesterday? Why not Tuesday? What changed?
No, I think just again, we talked about it in the room this morning, and we really, obviously realizing the impact it's having on the world and around the sports communities, and obviously, seeing what was going on with basketball and the MLB and everything that, we talked about as a group, and then wanted to go over and talk to Ryan in Vegas, and we just all thought it was the best course of action, and everything that Ryan's been saying, that we need to come together, and obviously this kind of stuff can't stand, and that we need to educate ourselves and realize what's going on in the world, and I think he's hit the nail right on the head that there needs to be change, and us being all together here as one definitely shows strength in the hockey community as well as in the world.
Take the next one, Saad Youssef, The Athletic.
Hey, Nazem, I'm just curious, with the hoodie that you have on, is there a particular importance with that for you? Obviously, Muhammad Ali stood for and things like that. Does that mean anything special to you?
I mean, obviously, he's an icon, someone I looked up to. Probably my favorite athlete. I mean, I think, he was definitely a role model. And as leaders up here with the NHL, I think we have a unique opportunity to try to create sustainable change. And, that's what this is all about. It's not just one or two guys. It's, every single player being on the same page and sticking together. And, morally and ethically, this is the right thing to do.
Take the next one, Sean Shapiro, The Athletic.
Hey, Jason, you were kind of cut off earlier, I think, when the question was targeted to you as well. How do you look at kind of from playing last night and kind of thinking about that decision and kind of what the discussions were like today for you guys?
Yeah, I think it was just a really quick turnaround for the events, and the timing for us was a difficult stance to take. And you know what? I don't think us not reacting quick enough was necessarily a bad thing. We're doing our part now, and we're trying to do what we can here today and tomorrow. And you know what? We could have not played yesterday, but it was such a quick turnaround that I think it was hard for us to start that conversation and get it going. And we were able to dive into it a little bit better today and really open up as a group. And obviously Vancouver and Vegas, they were able to open up together, and then things stemmed from there.
David Shane, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun.
Hi, Ryan and Jason. Since you guys and Robin and Tyler knelt for the anthem a couple of weeks ago, there hasn't been a whole lot of, I guess, maybe activism on the ice since then. Have you guys been wanting to do more since then?
I think when we took a knee that one day, it was a day to start the conversation. For me, I also have a lot of respect for military, and so I wanted to start the conversation of what's going on in the States right now, but I also want to stand and respect the people that have fought and died for this country. So I don't think I was planning on doing anything else on the ice. I don't know if I am after this, to be honest, but I think this is a much more powerful message today than anything that one or two, three guys can do on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nothing more needs to be said. We were able to start a big conversation amongst our team, stemming from that moment. So, that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to get the conversation going, and not only amongst ourselves, but amongst the country and the world.
Go to Arif Dean, Mile High Sports.
Hey, Nazem, I wanted to ask you, when you see the news in the NBA that LeBron James, the biggest name in the league, he played a large role in not only postponing yesterday's games, but the Lakers, his team, who has a chance to win it all, they actually voted against even playing the rest of the playoffs today or yesterday. How powerful of a message does that send to you, and how powerful do you think it is for you and ultimately for the rest of these guys to stand here in solidarity, even though you guys are opponents on the ice first and you're all battling for the same prize?
It means a lot. I mean, more than you could imagine. I think just having a player of that status, being able to, sacrifice potentially another championship, for something bigger than that. Some things are bigger than sports, and there comes a time where, you got to start acting on your word. I mean, you can say and put up signs and have all that stuff, which is great, but at the end of the day, it's what are we really doing to make a difference? And it's that time for action.
Ian McIntyre, Sportsnet.
Hi, either for Pierre-Edouard or Ryan. It wasn't the NBA that shut down last night's games, it was the players. And it's not NHL that's shutting down tonight's and tomorrow's games, but it's the players. Do you see this as a moment of empowerment? And do you think players will be more proactive in the future in taking a stand rather than necessarily waiting for the league to tell them what should be done?
Yeah, I think the best thing that happened, last night I struggled with, what I wanted to do, whether it was, am I really going to walk out on my team and be the only guy, or is there going to be a couple guys? But I woke up to, a text from Kevin Shattenkirk, and he had a bunch of guys out east there, and they wanted to talk, and then I got a text saying Vancouver wanted to talk, and that I think was more powerful. That the conversation started with white players on other teams wanting to talk, and I think that's the most powerful thing that happened today. And now you see us all coming together, all opponents here. I hope after this, I don't expect every one of these guys to go out and be advocates for this movement, but I'm sure a lot of us are, and that's the biggest thing. You can't just talk about it in the bubble and then go home and live your life. You gotta start being part of it, and I expect lots of us to.
Matt Larkin, the Hockey News.
Hey guys, this one's for Jason. In a couple of days, the dust will settle. You guys will probably be back on the ice. So what do you do to make sure the message stays strong, just going forward, and especially from the perspective of sort of white allyship?
Sorry, can you finish it or repeat the end of that?
Yeah, I just said from the white perspective, in just terms of showing your allyship going forward, and just sort of making sure this isn't a thing that comes and goes.
Yeah, I mean, like Reeve said, it's tough to do a whole lot while we're in this bubble. We can keep using our words and keep trying to get it out into the media, but it's going to come down to our action once we're out of here. We got to start doing more. I know Dallas, our organization, has done some good work in St. Philip's in particular, and we need to grow off of that stuff. We need to keep doing more. We need to keep finding more ways that we can give back into these communities and these situations to really right the wrongs that have been going on, and try to balance out what we've been witnessing.
Take a couple more for the guys. Himel Javeri, USA Today.
So just to follow up on that question about white allyship, how are you guys planning to make changes that, it's been a couple of months since the summer where everybody was making social media posts, the teams have had a chance to do it. Is this something that's going to come in waves, or are there clear plans to partner with Black players and to take the lead with them?
Well, I think the Hockey Diversity Association is a great start. Right there, they're getting the ball rolling to bring the white allyship in and get us on board and help them out. And I can't say that we've got a definitive plan today. We're working on things, and this is why we need a couple days to talk things out and get organized and really hash out a plan, because we can talk all we want, but until we do something, it's all just words.
Yeah, those 2 days are, we know that they're not maybe going to change everything right now, but the main point is that we're all here and we are aware of what's going on, and it has to stop. And this is the message that we're sending to our organization, the NHL, that we want to work together to take a better step, a different step, and making sure that this never happen again. And it's the HDA has a plan, and it's up to us after the bubble and every players, the organization, to make sure that we work together with our communities to make sure it's just get better and better. The reason why we're here right now is because there's nobody in this room happy about what is happening. And this is the key. We could change the 5 guys in front of the mic, and it would be the same answers. And that's the key.
Ben Goetz, Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Hi, this question's for Nazem. I mean, we just heard that the HGA has a plan. Can you kind of tell us what you would like to do for the rest of the bubble and beyond, and what you would like to see from the NHL in the bubble and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, just being a member of the HDA, I think we have certain initiatives and policies that we would like the NHL to act on. We feel that it's very reasonable, and I unfortunately I can't dive too much into specifics, but there is a plan, and moving forward, we want the NHL to understand that this is a partnership, a collaborative effort to create sustainable change. And moving forward, it's going to have to be the whole league. It's going to have to be collectively, not just 1 or 2 guys. Strength in number is key. And, in order to make serious change, that's what's going to need to be happening.